Hey, so it's Chris Kerr, and I'm talking to you today because a couple of strange things happened over the weekend. Some good, some bad. It is what it is. Um, but I thought it was important because I'm starting this new journey, and I can't really wait to tell you all about it because that's part of the deal, right? So, let's start with a message of hope for a friend of mine. I learned over the weekend from his brother that my business partner and close friend of the last few years, Barry Wade, has been in the hospital for the last couple of weeks, and the prognosis doesn't seem to be very good. Um, that's Barry's a remarkable man and a remarkable legacy that I hope continues on for several years to come. But if it's his time, then obviously I wish him Godspeed and as pain-free and a way home as possible. Um, I'll talk more about Barry in the days and weeks to come, and hopefully we'll have him on, and he'll be part of this discussion as well. But regardless, Barry Wade is a remarkable man. He ran the largest computer security and network security forum in North America for years and years and years. He has a background in technology that is jaw-dropping. And his network is, man, it's inspiring, dude. And these are people who know him and respect him and love him, and that's hard to say at the end of a life. It's hard to say at any point in a life, to the degree that he's managed to build those bridges. So, man, thoughts and prayers are out to Barry, and I wish him all the best, and we're praying for him and his family, obviously. The second part of this little post has a lot to do with why I'm talking to you today. And the reason I'm talking to you today is because Facebook decided out of the blue to offer me an opportunity to monetize my pages and my profile in particular, which is really interesting because there are a remarkable number of people who follow me who have really very little interest in what I do, but they may have a curiosity about it, and that's wonderful on its own. There are others who are following me because I have a background in intelligence and in competitive intelligence specifically. So countries and nations and organizations and leaders, they've reached out to me for years to help them figure out how to recover from or prevent disaster, or how to flip disaster into success of some kind. There are others who, you guys are just my friends and family, and we care about each other immensely. So whether you're a new fan, a potential customer, a friend, family member, welcome to the new stage of my social media presence. While I've done radio hosting for decades, and I've done TV, and I've done a bunch of other stuff, written books, co-written books, this is a new stage for me because while I've been fighting it for many, many years, the truth is I've needed to step more in front of my audience than ever before. And as the years go by, there is a growing urgency. Now, having said that, Facebook then was very, very clear that before they would allow my pages to be monetized, I would then have to be very well aware of their policies for demonetization, suspension, and deletion of my accounts so that I didn't cross them, right? And I'm very much a believer in democracy. I'm very much a believer in capitalism. And so if I'm going to benefit from their platform and they're going to benefit from my stuff, I think there's a deal to be had where both sides get what they're looking for. You don't join a partnership with somebody specifically to trash talk them or to put things out there that would cause them challenge or harm. And I think that's a fair point to be made. I'm not for censorship, generally speaking. I'm not for um, any kind of violation of your freedom of speech or expression. But in this case, they're offering to pay me to provide content that fits within parameters that they support. As long as I feel I can do that with integrity and with the stuff that I talk about, which most of it really isn't political, it really isn't the kind of stuff that would get me in trouble. Um, as far as that's concerned, I think mostly I can deal with the terms of Facebook's um, conditions for monetization. There are a couple of things that I think are a little hard. One of the things that I discovered is that you can't do videos with mostly text, right? Um, if you have videos with a lot of streaming text, that kind of fits along the lines of the slide deck videos, right? The training videos. And I think for the most part, Facebook finds those boring. And as a result, they don't want boring stuff on your channel. I have two contentions with that. One, if you've got an audience that is looking for it, then clearly they don't find it boring, right? If they're looking to watch it, see it, do whatever, then clearly they don't find it boring, so what's it matter, right? So that's the one initial argument. The second initial argument that I have for this is that a lot of videos now have to be, or really are, closed captioned or on screen, that the transcription is played so that it's ADA compliant, so that if people don't necessarily understand your accent or they have an issue with hearing specific words, there's always that little bit of a lag that then tells them the word, usually a close approximation at least, of what you're saying, so that you can reach a wider audience of people who are genuinely interested. And in particular, I want you to note the ADA compliance part of it, because that's becoming a more and more important part of video communication. Not everybody can hear, and even if they can hear, they can't necessarily hear that well. And so the text transcription part in particular, or where you want to place emphasis, has a real value that I think not only legally, there's a requirement to kind of showcase this kind of content, but there's a benefit to it as well, in that those who would benefit from it, now you have that wider audience. So those are really the two biggest bones of contention I have with the monetization policies that I have agreed to enter into. I'm going to keep doing the closed captioning and the transcriptions as much as I reasonably can anyway, and Facebook will tell me if what I'm doing they think is wrong, at which point I'll adjust course as we go along. But I thought this is a new opportunity for me to kind of take a different look at who I am in terms of how I relate to the world. Because if you know me, you know that I've spent the vast majority of my career supporting other people, supporting other companies and governments and organizations. Very rarely have I stepped out in front of the spotlight to show off what I can do. And especially with my recent health struggles, what I know is more important than what I can do. And that's always been backwards thinking in my mind. So it's hard for me to kind of break through that. Because now if I teach other people how to do parts of what I do, and I delegate more of it to them, and I trust more, and that's really going to be a big chunk of this journey, then more people will benefit than they ever have before. And I'll still be able to manage it with my current medical challenges. And if you don't know those, we'll get into those another day. That's not really the biggest part of this post. This post is really about talking to you about what you can expect next. And what you can expect next is I'm going to try every day to have just a few minutes like this with you to share either my thoughts on something that's happening in the world, or reviews of some of the tools that I'm using that you might benefit from, or introducing you to people and concepts and things that either I'm working with or I have an interest in, or opening up conversations with some of my friends and network connections who have some topics that you're going to find very useful either in life or in business. And so, since I'm kind of being pushed out of my comfort zone, this is the start of something new for me. And I wanted to share that with you so you can get ready and you can participate and join in as we start unveiling more of who I am. And hopefully, those who start following and start really engaging, I can start bringing you some really strong benefits right out the get-go that you can apply to your life or to your business, or that you can start processing in your mind space so that we can all move forward together. I can't guarantee I'm going to be able to do it every day. My health is just not that supportive these days. But I can tell you whenever I do it, and as often as I can, I will. Sometimes a couple of times a day, I'll be inspired, let's say. But whenever I do it, it should be worth, a few minutes of your time. And hopefully some of you are going to find a reason to binge watch or binge listen to these as you go along. So where I used to have the voice that I would present in an hour-long format, or a 3-hour-long format at one point, on BSRN radio or the Professional Speakers Radio Show, or up in Canada I was on Experts on Call for many years. Whatever that history you have with me is, this is going to be a little different take. Now, I always have a way of bringing interesting guests and interesting conversations to the table, but we're going to take a little different take on it. And I really look forward to seeing you on the journey with me. That's it for now. Again, this is Chris Kerr. Appreciate your time, your energy, and your support as we launch something new here. And we'll give it a cool name, and maybe that's what we can do to start off with. What do you want to call this new presentation of mine that we're going to share on Facebook and YouTube, and maybe we'll get it on a Twitch channel and TikTok and whatnot. But what do you want to call this new challenge? Or not new challenge, new show of mine, we'll call it that. Leave your ideas or comments down below, and we'll try and take it from there. Thanks a whole bunch. Cheers for now.